It's been sort of crazy because I can remember back to the initial leaks of the PlayStation Network, and it was just crazy to think how that little incident really kind of screwed Sony so badly at that particular time. So for me personally, when I look at this new Insomniac leak and I'm sitting there going, this is kind of crazy, all the news and information is coming out, all the leaked stuff. And what's interesting to me is, and I'm just saying this sort of as a reason because some people are like refusing to cover this, obviously, or whatever. For me personally, I don't mind covering the stuff that's in the leak, just like with Xbox, just like, there was a Capcom leak, the same type of leak, and an Nvidia leak that leaked a bunch of games, same type of leak. I have no trouble actually kind of going over the things that are in there, and just keeping the kind of personal stuff out of it. Unfortunately, this happened, and I do feel bad for Insomniac and things like that, but we get a very interesting inside look at different things. And this is funny to me because so many PlayStation fans hate on Xbox and hate on Xbox Studios and things like that, and then when we see these types of things happen, and how other people look at Xbox Studios, you sort of go, oh, that's the fanboys aren't going to take this one too well. So I wanted to get into this one because I thought it was very funny. According to this, Insomniac Games was using Ninja Theory's Hellblade 2 as inspiration for Wolverine. So fans were left visually stunned when Ninja Theory showcased Hellblade 2 gameplay trailer at the Game Awards in 2023. Surprisingly, it seems like Insomniac Games also had their eyes on an Xbox exclusive, as recent leaks revealed how they had planned to use Hellblade 2 character models as a visual target for Marvel's Wolverine. Naturally, this has flamed up the Xbox vs. PlayStation debate once again, although some fans remain grateful to the modern game studios for their dedication to photorealistic graphics. Insomniac, who is obviously a Sony first-party studio, was recently hit by a massive ransomware attack on their servers. However, Sony refused to accept the massive ransom demand of $2 million, which led to the hackers releasing almost 1.7 terabytes worth of data containing Insomniac employee details, early gameplay footage of the upcoming Wolverine game, and a lot more, including some official policy documents that PlayStation would have preferred to keep private. Incidentally, the same leak also revealed a PowerPoint presentation on Marvel's Wolverine, in which the studio had talked about using character models from Hellblade 2 as an example of visual quality that they actually want to achieve. Ninja Theory has always been hailed for its photorealistic graphics, and the recent Hellblade 2 gameplay trailer blew everyone away. The first-party studio has been quite vocal about its commitment to utilizing motion capture and photogrammetry to achieve lifelike visuals in most of its games. Similarly, Insomniac's slideshow revealed how the studio plans to use the same method for character models in Marvel's Wolverine. In fact, the studio mentioned that they will use real-world 4D scan data before adjusting the models in-engine to achieve the best visual fidelity possible. Obviously, this is very interesting as well. Some fans aren't sure if photorealistic character models are the way to go for Wolverine. Although Insomniac Games leak revealed how the American studio was aiming for photorealism by using motion capture, fans weren't convinced that such an art style will work for Marvel's Wolverine. In fact, some users on Twitter even complained about Insomniac's aim, claiming that Wolverine is at its core a game based on a comic and it should retain some of the charm for players to experience. According to skeptics, photorealistic graphics, although mind-blowing, weren't best suited to all genres, and studios should have a proper creative decision and direction instead of running after the latest fad. On the other hand, PlayStation fans have wondered why Insomniac chose to use Ninja Theory as an example, even though first-party Sony studios have used motion capture in the past. According to some fans, studios like Naughty Dog and Sony Santa Monica have also created incredible character models, and Insomniac could have taken a leaf out of the book. That basically, to me, sounds like people are just kind of ticked off that Microsoft is being used at that. But listen, the Hellblade 2 models do look incredible, and I can definitely understand why people are definitely sort of at this kind of particular point. Why we're kind of going, oh, okay, well, this is why people look to that as being such a incredible thing, and to me, I get it, when I look at what that game looks like, to me, I'm just blown away by it. It's just something that is absolutely incredible, and to see the level of detail and to see the level of things that you know, gamers are kind of are flipping out about, like that's even more impressive to me than anything else right now. So when we do see these types of things pop up, it's very interesting. And you know, like I said, I think that what Microsoft is doing is pretty damn incredible, to say the least. And you know, at the end of the day, Microsoft has very different styles and things like that. They haven't really gone with the stylized versions that, you know, Sony has done in the past. You know, some think it's one thing, some think it's the other. But for me personally, I look at this and I go, you know, listen, Sony has had like kind of their day in the sun. You know, I think what Sony has been able to accomplish has been incredible over the years. But I also think that, you know, it's high time that Microsoft get the attention that they kind of deserve as well. Because to be quite honest about it, I feel like Microsoft always gets the short end of the stick when it comes to these types of announcements and these types of things. But, you know, I think when you're trying to go, especially if you're going for like a R-rated or a 18 rated type situation, you want it to be kind of a certain way. And that's sort of how I look at these things. Hopefully anyway, we can see something like that in the future, because I do feel like you want to go for a more realistic kind of version of this if you are trying to go like that 17 rated game, in my humble opinion anyway. You know, like anything can happen, anything can be anything you want it to be. But if you're talking about Wolverine and he's got claws and he's going out there and shredding people, I think that it makes all the sense in the world to make sure that you have some realism going on there, right? And that's just my humble opinion on this subject. You know, like who knows what the ultimate end goal will be. Obviously we've seen some things kind of floating around, but we never know. You know, the game supposedly isn't going to come until 2026, so anything can literally happen between now and then. So we'll see what happens. So like I said, I think that, you know, we're going to have to wait and see what happens long term with this stuff. But, you know, it's very interesting to see how, you know, gamers have been reacting to this entire situation. Some of the, what I would say is, it's kind of weird how people now all of a sudden get a conscience over leaks and things like that when it's a PlayStation day, but then want to pretend that there's not an Xbox tax because nobody had any, you know, Capcom got hacked the same way, Nvidia, Microsoft had massive leaks and nobody cared until it was PlayStation. So I don't know. Seems like there's some different standards there. Let me know what you guys think though. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.